finally, the inevitable has occurred. Rey Fenix has been removed from AEW's roster page. It does seem that the thing that everyone knew was happening for months at this point has happened. Rey Fenix, we're reading the article off of the Figure 4 Online. Rey Fenix no longer appears on the company's roster page. Last month, Malachi Black and Ricky Starks, parentheses, Saints, were removed from the roster page shortly before news broke that they had been released from their contracts. Our own Dave Meltzer addressed the news on Monday, writing, quote, Rey Fenix was removed from the AEW website. The belief is that, it's funny that Dave's, I think website is one word now. They still, like, it's like people who write email with a hyphen, you know, E, or do like E capital MAIL. Like I think that's probably how Dave still writes email. E capital MAIL, all one word. The belief was that he was released from the rest of his contract, similar to Starks and Black, and will be in WWE ASAP. We had known there were talks in that direction for a few weeks. AEW hasn't confirmed the second part, but the removal pretty much says that. In last week's edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer reported that WWE has already been drawing up creative plans for Fenix's arrival, despite the fact that he had not been released from his AEW contract. What? I can't believe it. You mean you're telling me that Rey Fenix was already contracted and was ready to go into WWE while he still under contract with AEW? Why, that's just bad form. It's funny how no one's losing their mind over that. It is believed AEW extended injury time into Fenix's deal, keeping him under contract until mid-2025. This prevented him from signing with WWE at the same time as his brother Penta. Will they change his name to Fenix so as to not confuse American children with two different Reys? No, they will absolutely not refer to him as Rey Fenix. That is 100% sure. Because then you'll have people saying, are they related? We knew this was coming for a while. I don't think anyone is taken off guard here. And it shows, if the reports are indeed true, as Meltzer reported here, I should say, that he was released from the rest of his contract as opposed to sitting down and waiting out. That means that there has been a significant shift in AEW's approach to these departing talents. I think that's pretty self-evident at this point. Because if the belief is that he was indeed released, then I guess Tony has sort of come around to say, or someone talked him into it or whatever the fuck, where it's like, why are you keeping these people? Why are you locking them down? And just like I had mixed feelings on AEW, locking Fenix down, sending him into Guantanamo Bay, but locking Fenix down and, with the extra injury time when people, were very, very upset that he did that. I mean, it's like I argued at the time, and I still maintain that position when I maintain the position, you'll see what I mean. I still maintain the position that it makes sense for AEW to hang on to the talent that they have and sort of just to impede the works of WWE, because WWE works to impede just about everything AEW does.
And subscribe.
And shut up, Alvarez. And they work to impede everything AEW does, even to the point of, now absolutely 100% messing with the actual talent pipeline that exists in the United States, mostly to mess with AEW and make it harder for AEW to contract talent. There is a talent war happening right now in pro wrestling in the United States, and that is good for talent. but it's bad for promotions because promotions have to pay more to secure talent from going away and joining the other guys. That's on a basic level. And there's a little more scarcity. There's more choice for the talent. Again, good thing for the talent, bad for the promotions where they have to, sort of lay out the red carpet and so on and so forth. But it's a good time to be a pro wrestler, a TV-ready pro wrestler in the United States, because things are very, very much on your side right now. It's it's a buyer's market. It's a seller's market. It's a seller's market because you're selling your talent. So it's a seller's market. And then of course, I still had the other position. I was very on the fence because not very on the fence because I had the other position, which was, well, it's kind of disgraceful for AEW to lock down a talent who just wants to leave, wants to do something else, and they're just squirreling him away and not letting him wrestle. And that sucks because the wrestler should be able to, hone their craft, do what they want, do what they need to do. Of course, they are still getting paid, but nonetheless, this is a business that works on performance, on hype, on being on TV. So ultimately, this is hurting Rey Fenix more than anything else. And I always thought that sucked. And ultimately, where I leaned the most, I could understand both sides, but ultimately, it's like, nah, it sucks for the workers. It sucks for the workers. That's all there is to it. I understand the business decisions. Doesn't mean I have to like them. So that was my position, and it's it kind of still is. And I think if AEW is relenting and letting these people leave, I think it's good. I think it's good because it stops hanging around. It stops hanging over the locker room, and it's going to be good on that level for all the people involved. They're just going to be able to move on. And, I was talking about it earlier on stream. I feel these days that AEW is good. Like Collision's been very good. Dynamite's been good overall. We've got a big pay-per-view coming up. Like there's a lot of positives regarding AEW these days that make it really exciting to be invested in it again. And I think that maybe some of what's being lifted off of the locker room is seeping into the television, and people feel, if the wrestlers feel happier, more energetic, they're like, okay, this is all good. We're finally getting rid of the bad stuff, of the bad elements, of the shadows that were cast over the locker room, and now we're now everyone's sort of in a good vibe. Well, that comes across on television as well. Should he have released Rey Fenix sooner? I guess, sure. Yes. I guess so. Because ultimately, here's the thing, is that ultimately, no matter what your position is here, I think that AEW locking down Rey Fenix like they did, and Rey Fenix becoming a bit of a martyr on social media, only helped Rey Fenix. Like, he is going to be super over the minute he starts with WWE. He's going to be the talk of the town. Everyone's going to be having a take, an opinion, some thoughts regarding Rey for the next 3 days after his debut, whether it's tonight, whether it's, after Mania, who gives a fuck, whenever it happens, Rey Fenix, yeah, I guess they do have to change the Rays so that people don't get confused. Rey Fenix is going to be, is absolutely going to be received like, like the prodigal son. That's all there is to it. Like, if anything, this situation helped raise, this situation helped raise Phoenix's stock amongst WWE fans. And one thing that I find deplorable right now is how a lot of people, a lot of AEW fans, or not, who cares, are, but I guess mostly AEW fans in this situation, are saying, good riddance, hit the bricks, you bum, it's like, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like, pump the brakes and let's be a little objective here, okay? Let's be a little objective, because no matter what your feelings are on how all of this went down, Rey Fenix has very little to do with it. Now, did he mismanage this on his end, posting, pictures of him with a straight jacket and, complaining about, being silenced or whatever, and one day the truth will come out, all this bullshit? Yes, I think that's poorly mismanaged. I think he has another guy in his ear telling him what to say, who's a guy who is a AAA shit stirrer. But was it poor? Did he handle it well? No, I don't think he handled his exit well. Now, is this enough for me to completely turn and say Rey Fenix, good riddance? No. Again, look at all the people who recently left from the company, who were either released early or contracts weren't renewed. Malachi Black, Miro, Ricky Starks, Layla Hirsch, and Rey Fenix. And allegedly there's more to come, but we're not dwelling on that right now. But, let's look at these 5 here. Malachi Black, Miro, Layla Hirsch, that's all fine. Like, AEW will not be worse for wear with them gone. AEW will not be worse for wear with them gone. Ricky Starks, I think, had potential to be something special in AEW. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. And maybe he could have been a star. Maybe he could have been something special for the company, but he didn't. So looking at the body of work as opposed to what could have been, again, I don't think AEW is going to be worse off without him. But you could argue, you can make an argument that Starks had shown star power potential, that his follow-ups to his feuds were awful, and that stuff, whatever creative that was being brought to him was dreadful and ultimately never allowed him to hit the highs. You could convince me of that. I'd buy that. Rey Fenix, I believe, is the guy who is a guy. Let's put him there with Ricky. I think he's a guy who had potential and who had the potential for something special within the company, because I think from the get-go, AEW fans always loved Rey Fenix. They loved the Lucha Bros, but I think AEW fans loved Rey Fenix a little more. I think they had the support for him a lot more, and to the point that one of the most long-running fan narratives or expectations that was out there was whether or not Rey Fenix was going to get a singles run. Break up the Lucha Bros, have them have a little blood feud, which would have been tremendous, and have Fenix go on a proper upper mid-card run. I'm not saying world championship material. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. But like an international title run? Hell yeah. Like, he held the title for a cup of coffee. Or was it still the All Atlantic title back in the day? I think so, right? Cross Atlantic, the Pan Am title, whatever it was called. I don't remember. It was the All Atlantic, right? Yeah. So, and I really, like, this was a guy that fans loved. AEW fans loved this guy. Like, this is a guy who could have been a solid upper mid-card act for the rest of his career with AEW. But there was a wall. There was a wall that was hit, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what the issue was. Because when he accidentally won the All Atlantic title, which he wasn't supposed to, like I said, he held it for a cup of coffee, like not even 3 weeks. He didn't wear. didn't hold it for a month, like not even a full month. 3 weeks at the most. When he got the title, I think a lot of fans, including myself, who thought that, okay, now we experiment, now we try the Rey Fenix singles run. No, instead he dropped it instantly back to Orange Cassidy. Was it? I think so. And ultimately that's the issue, right? Is that the issue is that you end up with Rey Fenix had the opportunity to have his singles run, and he won the title accidentally. And instead of running with it, no, we just completely obliterate that and change course. It's like, no, this was not supposed to happen, and we're not going to experiment with this. So there was a wall. There was something creatively that was preventing Rey Fenix from moving upward in the company, despite being a guy that AEW fans loved from the start, from the get-go, were super behind, and would have absolutely 100% bought as a singles champion. So him leaving, to me, essentially is a big missed opportunity. Much more than Penta. I think Fenix had the little extra value add that Penta doesn't necessarily have. Penta's great, has his own crowd connection, he's fine, but he's not the worker Rey was. He really isn't. He really isn't. I'm sorry to watch his matches. He's a great vibes guy. Phoenix had the work, he had the charisma. He was very good. And I think that's a huge, ultimately, Rey Fenix departing AEW without them ever having tested the waters of him being a singles guy is, it's wrong, man. It's deplorable. Everyone's going to talk about how Tony fumbled Ricky Starks. Well, AEW kind of missed the boat on Rey Fenix, I think. Or at least try it out. I don't want to give the impression that I'm saying this was an absolute shoo-in. What a fucking disaster. Mismanaged company. What is this shit, Tony Khan? What I am saying is that the test was never there. We never explored it. It would have been really interesting to give it a shot, as opposed to many other guys who got single shots. I'm just saying. Ricky Starks got a bigger push than most in late 2022 through 2023. True. A lot of the poor follow-up falls on Ricky. Too many people gave him a free pass. I want to say that it's I don't hate your take at all. I think it's a fair take. I slightly disagree in the idea where I think it's more of a 50-50. I think there's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B as to why the push didn't work out. Whichever one it is it the, look, I know he was mad that, I know he was mad about not getting his feud with CM Punk. I understand. But he fucking got Bryan Danielson instead in a legendary strap match. Okay? Come on. At some point, you suck it up, right? But was the follow-up to that great? No, not necessarily. Was there stuff going on backstage that we don't know about? Probably. I'm sure everything could be explained if we were observers going, seeing everything going on. But, yeah. Look, ultimately, my point here is that, and I don't want to give the impression that I'm sort of poo-pooing Ricky Starks and what a loser, WWE can have him. No, I still think, Ricky Starks could have had the potential. We did try. The thing is the point ultimately I'm trying to make is that we did try. When I say we, I mean AEW. We did try with Ricky Starks, but we didn't try with Phoenix. And I think that's my main gripe. That's my main issue. And you're not going to sit here, I'm not going to entertain, hardcore AEW fans who are going to try and retcon the idea that Rey Fenix was, what a loser, he stunk. whatever, it doesn't matter. No. We're not going to retcon that because he was part of the fabric of AEW, just along with his brother. But I think he was the shining star of the duo. He was the better wrestler, and he had the better crowd connection overall because he had the work, because he was tremendous. Penta is Vibes guy, and he's great at what he does. Don't get me wrong, but the idea that Rey Fenix was just like a throwaway guy and is, oh, what a bum, he can go fuck off. Never really liked him anyway. False. That's just cope, as the kids say. It's cope, not Adam Copeland, like the actual definition, which I guess is getting kind of cringe to say now. I think we're moving on from cope. I don't think it's all that great now. Copium, hopium, all that stuff feels really weird now. Doesn't feel as interesting. But that's it. It's like I won't stand for I won't stand for retconning. I won't stand for reinventing history. AEW fans loved Rey Fenix. They wanted to get behind him. He was never given the opportunity. If he had been given the opportunity, this would be an entirely different ball game.